Greetings everyone, this is Science Viking here. This isn't actually another full part. I decided that I wanted to do a bit of level grinding before I attempted the boss of the Undead Parish, and I decided I felt like showing you guys one loop through the Undead Parish grinding for souls. Just to show you guys how I do it, and also get into why I think that the Undead Parish is really a good place to grind if you're going to grind. Alright, so start in the Firelink Shrine bonfire, and go up those stairs that you just saw me go through to get to the elevator that we took to get back to Firelink Shrine in the last part. I recommend working from the Firelink Shrine bonfire anytime you're doing stuff in the Undead Parish, because the Firelink Shrine bonfire is kindled for free, so you can have 10 uses of your essence flask to get 5 without having to spend your humanity to kindle the bonfire. Alright, when you get to the top of the elevator, turn left and go up these stairs. At the top of the stairs, there will be a Balder Knight, so be ready. Walk onto him. The thing is, the fact that he's slightly above you has a weird effect on a lot of his attack combos, and punish him for doing it well. I really enjoy doing that way more than I probably should. Alright, we're going to want the Pyromancy Flame for the next part. Because what we do is we just peek out here and then immediately retreat because there's an ambush of regular hollows. These guys are quite dangerous, despite being the weakest enemies in the game. Just because of their sheer numbers and the fact that they just charge you. It's actually quite a bit harder to deal with this if you're not playing with Pyromancy and you don't have access to fire. Alright. May as well pillage his body, even though he's not going to have anything too useful, just a broken straight sword. We do get the opportunity to sell our loot later on. So, that won't be available for a while yet, but there's no limit to how much stuff you can carry with you at once, and you can sell equipment and other stuff you don't need to an NPC we'll meet later. So you may as well hold on to this stuff until you actually meet someone you can sell it to. Anyway, up here, you see this fog wall. On the other side of that fog wall is the boss. We're obviously not going in there yet, but I've showed this area to you so that you know it's a good idea to have a summon sign placed while you're grinding in the Undead Parish, and you want to place it here. Really, it's a good idea to have a summon sign placed while you're grinding anywhere. That way you can be summoned and then help another player with the boss and farm some souls while doing so. That's the place where people generally place their summon signs if they want to place a summon sign for this boss fight. Alright, head over here. And there will be another Balder Knight to take on. This Balder Knight is actually guarding something. I ended up showing what he's guarding in a previous take, which then I had to get rid of. So, yeah, this is not actually my first take attempting to do this area. So, things I do. Also, you may have noticed, as I was killing that Balder Knight, he was gradually moving his sword into a position where his shield was at his side and his sword was level with his chest, pointed at me. When a Balder Knight is completely in that stance, you don't want to attack them, because they'll counterattack. If I get the opportunity, I'll demonstrate that to you guys, possibly as bonus footage. I just walk past the giant pile of hollows that we left behind. There are a lot of them in that area. Alright, down here. And let's switch over to sorcery instead of pyromancy, since we're needing out fireballs anyway. You need to use most of them to deal with that group of hollows. But it's still the most effective way of dealing with them. And zap this Balder Knight in the butt. Well, really, it's kind of like that. Zapping him? Keep zapping both. Go ahead, keep trying to do this. Smart, using the pillars as cover. Not smart enough, though. You should just run away. I'm going to save the rest of my soul arrows for something else. There's one more Balder Knight in here, in case you remember. One of the reasons why I like using the Undead Parish to grind is because, A, the humanity meter seems to advance a lot faster here than it does in other areas. Part of this is probably because of the Balder Knights contribute a lot to the humanity meter each time you kill one of them. So the Balder Knights are a good enemy to kill if you're farming for humanity. They also give you 200 souls, which is a pretty good number of souls to get for an enemy this early in the game. They also seem to have a higher chance of dropping Titanite shards than any other enemies. And, on top of all of that, the other thing that they can drop is the Balder armor set. The Balder armor set is actually a very useful armor set. If you're playing as a warrior, it's a good armor set because you'll have high enough endurance that it will probably be medium armor. If you're playing as a knight, it's a good armor set because it's the best physical resistance set you're able to get this early in the game. And if you're playing as a pyromancer like me, well, it will always be heavy armor for you, and thus doesn't fit your normal fighting style. There's one particular boss fight later on in the game where I really recommend just having heavy armor. So I actually am going to farm up a set of Balder armor off screen so that I can use it for something else, and I recommend you do the same thing if you're playing as pretty much any of the classes that I recommend you start with. Alright? You may have noticed we got more souls than usual from that guy. That's because I got an overkill. The way that works is if you deal, I think it's 20%, maybe it's 40% more than the target's maximum health in a single hit, then you get an overkill, which causes you to receive extra souls. In that case, it was because of a backstab, because for some reason he decided to turn around and face away from me. And I just realized that I forgot to do something. Oops. So, quick run back over here. And before you go any farther that way, you want to run down here. And down here there's a lever on the other to open this gate. On the other side of this gate is the courtyard. So, pull the lever to open the gate to the courtyard. In addition, if it's the first time you've been here, on this corpse you will find an item called the basement. You need that for later. We need that to get to the lower Undead Berg to get to, well, the rest of the game. Anyway, run back through here. Turn right. Keep going. And left of us will be another Balder Knight. I think I can take him. Once again, he's trying to get into his counter stance. I've been hit by their counterattack a couple of times. I haven't not died yet while being hit by their counterattack. So when I have enough health and or enough armor to actually survive being hit by it, I may demonstrate it. Alright, now you may notice, if you may remember, through here, through this doorway, is that interior area that was full of hollows. We could go through that, but hollows don't really drop anything useful, they don't give very many souls, and they don't contribute very much to the humanity meter. So killing them is really a waste of time. So we have another plan. First, kill these archers. Now, you want to kill them before heading down there, so you want to kill them with a ranged attack. Whether that's bow and arrow or sorceries, depends on what kind of character you are, but you should have one or the other available to you. Once they're dead, carefully position yourself. You don't want to be too far to the right because there's an invisible wall, but hop down here. You should land on this causeway and not take any falling damage. And then head through here. Now, we're in the courtyard, and we can quickly kill the enemies. Also, if you look back here, you'll see why I wanted to open this gate. Because once we're done killing these enemies, we can just sprint through that gate, straight back to where the elevators are, head back to the Undead Berg, not the Undead Berg, Firelink Shrine bonfire, rest, and respawn all the enemies and try again. Ow. Yeah, riposting, ladies and gentlemen, don't try this at home. Because you could die. Also, as that just demonstrated, you are invincible while you are performing a riposte. I don't have any idea whether or not I'm pronouncing that correctly. But you are invincible while you're performing either a riposte or a battle attack. So if other enemies try to attack you, they won't hurt. Come on. I have gotten the hang of this. Like I said, be careful when it comes to using parry and riposte attacks. Ooh, we got another humanity. Because it's very easy to get... Well, you saw what happened when I tried it earlier. It's very easy to just end up taking a whole bunch of damage. Alright, and we're nearly to the end of this loop. The end of this loop being down here with the undead rats. I'll explain in a moment, once I'm done killing them, why I include the undead rats in this loop. Also, you may notice that that one hit that I didn't block caused way more poison buildup than it used to. That's because I'm no longer wearing my Pyromancer armor, and the chainmail does not protect against poison anywhere near as well as the Pyromancer gear does. Alright. Now, the reason why I killed the Undead Rats is because the Undead Rats have a small chance of dropping the Humanity item, which is a very useful item to have, especially in large quantities. And since you're going to be accumulating liquid humanity, that is the humanity stat, quite a bit in the process of exploring this area, and having a high humanity stat increases the probability of enemies dropping items. It will increase, essentially, increasing your humanity stat increases the probability that the Undead Rats will drop you a humanity item, which you can then use later. So anyway, that's the route that I like to take through the Undead Parish while farming for things, and then just quick sprint from the courtyard back into here, and then when you reach the elevators, turn left, take the elevator down to back in Firelink Shrine, rest, and repeat. And then whenever I have enough souls, I can, sometimes I level up, other times I just either buy Titanite shards from Andre, who is back that way, or use Titanite shards that I found as item drops to upgrade my equipment. Anyway, that's how I grind for souls in the Undead Parish. Hopefully I'll be back soon with a demonstration of how to actually handle the boss fight in this area. In the meantime, I love you all. I'll see you next time. Their shields block quite a bit of magic, but it is possible to bear down. Baldur's Knight's AI is kind of a mixed bag. Sometimes they're quite smart, sometimes they're really not. I thought he was dead. He's definitely dead now. Alright. I'm going to head a little bit farther up here because there's something else I want to show you all. Run! This looks breakable, and it is. Climb up these stairs, a little higher, and talk to this guy.
Oh, still then I am in luck. Could you help me? As you can see, I am stuck.
This guy is trapped in a cell. Use the mystery key we found earlier to open the door. And when the message disappears, we should be able to talk to him. But for some reason, the message isn't disappearing. Right?
Thank you. Yes, I am Knight Lautrec of Karim. I truly appreciate this. And I guarantee
and apparently he'll reward us later.
Only later.
One of the benefits of freeing him is that you can summon him for another boss fight later on. And the boss fight you can summon him for is actually kind of hard. Quick run around here and roll through the tables, roll through this bed, and loot. A humanity. That's always a good thing to have more of. Hey everybody. One last bit of bonus footage before I move on to actually taking on the Bell Gargoyles. You may notice I'm in the courtyard again. There is actually another Dark Knight here, just like there was in the Undead Parish. I'm just going to quick show my fight with him and hopefully actually survive it. Alright, so this ladder that I'm looking at is the ladder you would climb down to get to where the Undead Rats are. So these stairs up will take you to where the Dark Knight is. Okay. Climb the stairs, climb the stairs, climb the stairs, climb the stairs. Quite a few stairs. See the knight's up there, get your attention, and then immediately retreat down the stairs. He should follow you no matter what, but you specifically want to keep your distance from him pretty much no matter what. You want to fight him in a nice open area. Have I provoked him? Let's see. Yep, there he is. Oh, ow! And that's why you want to keep your distance. Sprint. Shields and fireballs. Firebomb. go off the causeway. One more. And he's down. And we get a Black Knight shield and a Titanite chunk. The Titanite chunk won't be useful for a little while yet, but it will be useful later. Let's compare how the Black Knight shield stands up to the Hollow Soldier shield. Alright. Hit delete. And it actually is a relatively nice shield. It protects from physical just as much as our current one, and protects from fire and lightning quite a bit better than our current one. But the problem with it is it has a required strength of 16, and you do need to meet the shield stat requirements in order to use it as a shield, not just in order to hit people with it. And I don't actually meet that, and I'm probably never going to, because I'm not planning on leveling up this character's strength any. So I'm going to stick with my Hollow Soldier shield. Still, if you're a knight type of character, or even a warrior, you'll likely end up having enough strength to use the Black Knight shield. And it is a very good shield if you have the stats for it. And up here, you get a very nice view. And I would not recommend jumping off of that, because, well, you'll die. But yep, very nice view up here. Anyway, that's the last bit of bonus footage. I'm just going to finish my preparations for the boss fight with the Bell Gargoyles and then take them on. Alright, well, until next time, I love you all.